Okay, we're gonna go on a quick test drive. It shifts nice and smooth. The steering wheel's perfectly straight. The suspension feels nice. We are in sport mode. Really nothing out of the ordinary. Everything feels perfect. I'm going to put it down in manual mode and use the paddle shifters. Everything feels good. All right, we're going to do a quick visual condition report. Now we're looking for scuffs, scratches, chips, dings, any cosmetic imperfections that we can find. And before I get started, we do have the window sticker here. It is laminated, so you can see the vehicle upgrades. Got the 2LT, performance data video recorder. It's the 8-speed auto, of course. You got the Grand Sport Heritage package, red calipers, aluminum wheels, red seat belts, a $78,000 MSRP. And then we also have the assembly information here, and that is laminated, and those will be on the website and included with the vehicle. So for now though, let's get into the condition report, starting with the front right wheel. Looking at this wheel, I do not see any curb rash or any imperfections that stand out. Got the bright red calipers. You got the hash mark here as part of the Heritage package. It is a vinyl. You can see the bumper edge right here is chipping just a little bit. That panel is just really close and it looks like it's just kind of chipped over time. The rest of that fender looks good. Overall, nice and clean. Here on the side mirror, we do have some rock impacts. Not necessarily chips, but they have impacted the paint. Making our way down the door. I see a little scuff there, and it looks like some small scuffs in this area. They do not catch my nail. It might be just little fingernail scratches. This lower section has PPF on it protecting it, but you do have little rock impacts on the edge right here. And then you can see the rock impacts in this section if you get really close. You can see your typical little scuffs from just everyday washing. And then right here, you do have a scratch. It barely catches my nail. I don't think it went all the way through the paint. The rest of that looks good. I don't see any curb rash, but I do see a rock chip on the edge of the spoke there. And I'm sure there's a couple more here and there, but otherwise that wheel looks really nice. And looking at the front end, starting with the lower splitter, it looks like it did bump against a curb and kind of pulled it back and rashed it. But that's an easy fix. It looks like we do have a crease right here though. It kind of notched the edge of that bumper out there. I don't think it cracked it. It looks like just a little notch. Now you're going to have some little rock chips and rock impacts, of course, on this front end. There's a larger one right here, and just little ones every once in a while. Overall, the headlights look good. A couple small rock impacts here and there. Got the white here, and then the white vinyl on that stripe, which is part of that heritage package. And that vinyl looks good. And then looking at the engine bay, overall looks really good. And then you can see the liner here is nice and clean. Then looking at the left side here on this fender, we do have a scratch right there. I don't think it went all the way through the paint. Barely catches my nail, so it looks a little worse than it is. I'm sure that can be wet sanded and paint corrected and removed there. The rest of that fender looks good. Here on the lower side, you see one rock chip there. Looking at this wheel, I do not see any curb rash. Overall, it looks awesome. Here on this lower rocker, you do have a gash right there. And then on the side mirror, a couple little imperfections. Otherwise, that looks nice. That A-pillar looks good. Here on the door, typical little fingernail scratches, but otherwise clean. I see a little graze mark here on the very edge. And of course, this section is protected by PPF. You're going to have little rock impacts here and there, but otherwise it looks good. And then you're going to have your little rock impacts in this section. Get real close, you can see them. From about right here, they kind of disappear. Typical little swirls, very minor scuffs. See a little one right here. Those do not catch my nail, so they're really just on the surface. That wheel looks amazing. And then checking out the back here, starting with the spoiler. See a really tiny scuff there. A couple small ones on that back side. A few tiny scuffs here, all very minor. A couple scuffs there. A little notch out of the vinyl here, as well as right there. Taillight looks good. There is a chip right here. Minor scuffs on that back piece. I don't see any damage though, so you really just have those tiny scuffs, that little rock chip, and everything else looks good. Okay, looking at the interior, it is a non-smoker. Here on that upper panel, that looks perfect. This section looks good. Got the memory seating, Bose audio. Those buttons are clean. And that lower section looks nice. Got a couple minor scuffs here. A little scuff on the plastic. Looking at that bolster, that looks really good. Got a little bit of wear right here. A little shiny in that spot, and there's a little divot there out of the leather. That is an easy repair though. You got the nice seat belts. You do have a couple scratches along this plastic. Looking at that seat back though, looks good, and the bottom's nice and clean. Here on the steering wheel, it is a little shiny, and you do have these little scuffs or little scratches, little imperfections every once in a while. Probably from a ring. Got the heads-up display. All of this looks good. That screen looks nice. You do have a couple little dents right there in the metal. Here on the passenger door panel, All of this looks good. I'm not seeing any flaws on that upper section. See a little imperfection here, but otherwise that door panel looks perfect. A little scuff there, and a couple minor ones on that edge. Got the really cool floor mats. Those look good. That bolster looks nice. That one's super clean. Of course, you got the red seat belts. Those were an upgrade. The rest of that seat looks perfect. Now we do have the typical wrinkling here on that armrest cover. Now there's a lot of cool aftermarket options that you can even get the Grand Sport logo on there. That would be a good upgrade. Tiny scuff here, little one there. That looks nice. Upper side of the dash is perfect. Heated cool seats. That lower section looks nice. So this side, besides that little console, this side looks perfect.